So in this video we are gonna cover up top 5 futuristic games for low-end PCs. So this video is going to be really special for those who love science fictional stuff. I know that the title says top 5, but keep that in mind that all the 5 games are listed completely random, because it was hard for me to list them accordingly. So before we get started, I want you to like this video, as it takes a lot of effort to make one just for you, and one like for me will mean a lot, because that's all I expect from you in return. And also make sure to subscribe my channel for more worth clicking videos. So without wasting further ado, let's get started, but after the intro.
He traded his guns for love, but he's caught in the crossfire. But it's not to the side.
On number 5 spot we have EVE Online. EVE Online is a space-based, persistent world massively multiplayer online role-playing game. This game is 100% free to play. The game contains a total of 7,800 star systems that can be visited by players. Set more than 21,000 years in the future, the background story of EVE Online explains that humanity, having used up most of Earth's resources through centuries of explosive population growth, began colonizing the rest of the Milky Way. As on Earth, this expansion also led to competition and fighting over available resources, but everything changed with the discovery of a natural wormhole leading to an unexplored galaxy subsequently dubbed New Eden. Dozens of colonies were founded, and a structure, a gate of sorts, the MR, a militantly theocratic empire, was the first of the playable races to rediscover faster-than-light travel. Players start the game by either selecting a previously created character or by creating a new one. Each EVE Online account allows for up to 3 characters. When a player creates a new character, they start by choosing one of the 4 playable races. Unlike many other MMOs, where there are numerous copies of the game universe intended to run at once, EVE Online is functionally a single universe game taking place in the year 2341. Systems are classified by their security status, on a decimal scale. The game's primary mode of play is flying around in spaceships. Players can dock at stations, where they are safe and can use station services such as repairing, refitting, and the regional market. All space combat takes place in real time at sublight speeds from around 100 meters per second to in excess of 8,000 meters per second, depending on ship size and setup, while players can manually control their ships as in space combat simulators such as Wing Commander or X-Wing. Travel across distances longer than hundreds of kilometers is done primarily with the ship's warp drive, which every ship and escape pod has. Though the player may slow a boat across distances, traveling without warp drive, the player issues a command to warp to an object, which must be greater than 150 kilometers away and in the same star system, and, after an alignment maneuver, their ship will enter warp. After between a few seconds to several minutes, depending on ship speed and warp distance, the ship will arrive at the selected destination. A ship's warp drive can be temporarily disabled by warp disruption weapons, which is an essential part of combat to prevent a target from escaping. Definitely worth a try if you love outer space exploration. On number 4 spot we have Deus Ex Human Revolution. Deus Ex Human Revolution is an action role-playing game with incorporated first-person shooter and stealth mechanics. Players take the role of Adam Jensen, a man equipped with mechanical cybernetic implants called augmentations. The game's environments, ranging from open-world hubs to more scripted environments, are explored in first person, although actions such as hiding behind cover, conversing with non-playable characters, NPCs, and some attack animations switch to a third-person view. In these environments, players can find NPCs who will advance both the main story quest and optional side quests. Completing quests, along with other actions such as combat with enemies, rewards Adam with experience points, which raise his experience level. Also accessible are black market vendors that supply equipment and weapons for credits. The in-game currency, interactive objects within environments can be highlighted, although these options are either turned off on the hardest difficulty or can be turned off in the options menu by the player. There are a variety of ways to approach the game's situations, Players can use a violent approach and shoot their way through environments while using cover to hide from enemy fire. Alternately, Adam can take a stealthy approach, avoiding guards and security devices, again using cover to avoid enemy sightlines. Adam can move between cover elements and around corners while staying hidden. The melee takedown system offers lethal and non-lethal options. In addition to an assortment of lethal and non-lethal weapons, Adam can also move the bodies of enemies into hiding places, preventing them from being seen and raising an alarm. A key part of Adam's abilities are augmentations, which can be acquired and upgraded using Praxis kits either bought from special vendors, found in the game environments, or are automatically unlocked by leveling up. Higher level augmentations require more Praxis kits to unlock. So definitely worth a try. On number 3 spot we have Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 is an action role-playing game in which the player takes control of Commander Shepard from a third-person perspective. Shepard's gender, appearance, military background, combat training, and first name are determined by the player before the game begins. If the player has a completed saved game from Mass Effect 2, the character from that game can be imported. By importing an old character, decisions from prior Mass Effect titles are carried over, which impacts the plot of Mass Effect 3. Similar to previous installments in the series, the player is able to choose from 6 different character classes that each have their own unique set of skills. For example, the Infiltrator class is proficient in stealth and sniping abilities, whereas Biotics-inclined classes possess psychokinetic powers. By completing assignments and quests, the player is rewarded with experience points. Once enough points are earned, Shepard levels up, which allows for the unlocking or upgrading of skills along a tree. Mass Effect 3 has 3 preset campaign modes: Action, Story, and RPG. The Mass Effect trilogy is set within the Milky Way galaxy during the 22nd century, where interstellar travel is possible through the use of mass transit devices called mass relays, a technology believed to have been built by an extinct alien race known as the Proteans. Mass Effect 3 begins in the year 2186. The galactic community lives in fear of an invasion by Reapers, a highly advanced machine race of synthetic organic starships that are believed to eradicate all organic civilization every 50,000 years. Meanwhile, the Krogan face extinction because of the genophage, a genetic mutation developed by the Salarians and deployed by the Turians as a bioweapon to contain the Krogan, so definitely worth a try if you love storyline games. On number 2 spot we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldiers. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier is a third-person tactical shooter video game. The game is a third-person cover-based shooter. Pulling the left trigger causes the over-the-shoulder view to zoom in, allowing for more precise aiming. Clicking on the right analog stick causes the game to switch to a first-person camera, which lets the player look down the iron sights. Some cover can be partially destroyed, forcing players to seek other hiding spots. While taking cover, players can be suppressed by machine gun fire, which takes the effect of narrowing and shaking the player's field of vision, making it harder to return fire. A new feature in the series is adaptive camouflage, which allows the ghosts to become partially invisible. In the game, it is explained that the processing power doesn't exist yet for the camouflage to keep up with quick movements, so it is only active when the player moves slowly. It's enabled automatically when the player crouches, and disengages when running, firing or taking damage. The game opens in the year 2024 with the 4-man Ghost Recon team call-signed Predator. Sometime later, a nuclear missile fired from Russia impacts London, but the nuclear warhead is eliminated at the last minute by the American missile shield. During firefights, the player can prioritize up to 4 targets by marking them, on which squad members will focus fire. Outside of firefights, marking targets prepares for a synchronized takedown, so long as the enemy is still unaware of the team's presence. This mechanic is referred to by the game as sync shot. So definitely worth a try if you love Tom Clancy's series. On number 1 spot we have Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 is a science fiction survival horror action adventure video game. Dead Space 3 takes place in the 26th century. Mankind has colonized the stars but is in desperate search of new energy sources. One potential method was found in the Chicxulub crater on Earth. an extraterrestrial artifact, dubbed the Black Marker, which produces a constant electromagnetic field in defiance of the law of conservation of energy. The game opens in the year 2314, on Tel Volantis, an ice-covered planet with an irregularly shaped moon, where sovereign colonies' armed forces. Player characters can roll and take cover to avoid attacks. This ability was described by a Visceral Games developer as essential, as it felt dumb, terrible not to have it, and that they have been making Isaac more responsive, as they want the horror to come from the terrible things that happen in the game, not from the horror that something is moving slowly towards you and you can't shoot it because the game controls like a piece of crap. After the battle with the Brethren Moon over Tel Volantis, Isaac Clarke and John Carver wake up on the surface of Tel Volantis, shocked to find that after falling to their near deaths, they are still alive. They then make their way across the surface of the frozen planet, finding memories of the horror they had faced, and in the process learning that the marker's effects are still present and necromorphs are still spawning. Isaac realizes that the moon they defeated must have been able to awaken the other moons scattered throughout space before it died. So definitely worth a try again if you love storyline games. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more worth clicking videos, and also share this to your fellow low-spec buddies, and I will see you the next time. All due respect. Love your parents, respect your country, stay home and stay safe, and most importantly take care of yourselves. Bye.